Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Gary Hibner here, a YouTube guitarist from South Africa, and in this video, we're going to take a look at how to sound like Deftones. Now, Deftones have got a huge catalog of albums, and they've been through a ton of different guitar tones. But in particular, I want to focus in on the era of about Around the Fur, White Pony, and the self-titled album. So we're going to be looking at a guitar tone that sounds similar to sort of those three albums. And in particular, I want to focus in on the song Hexagram from the self-titled album. And the reason I want to do this is because it has this really cool intro where there's a blend of a clean and distorted guitar tone, and then it hits in with the heavy riff. For this song, I'm going to be using my Ibanez MMM1 Baritone, and this is going to be tuned to G sharp standard. Now, Stefan obviously uses a 7-string, but what I've got here is a baritone, so I can tune down low on this, so it's starting in a low G sharp. But what I'm actually doing is missing the 3rd string. If you check the riff in Hexagram, he actually doesn't even really play that string that much. So that's why I'm using a 6th string, but it's actually a baritone that's tuned down to G sharp. So now let's check out a playthrough of the riff with some drums, guitar, and bass, and then after that, we'll take a look at the tone and how to recreate it. Before jumping into the playthrough, let me punt a few things. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, I'd highly appreciate it. And also, if you're new to the channel or if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and also don't forget to click on that notification bell to be notified of future videos. Here we go. Okay, so let's take a look now in the software what I used to get that amp tone. Now, Steph used a Marshall JMP1 rack mount unit that was a preamp, and then that went into a power amp that was using EL84s, and then from there he went into either Marshall cabs, a 4x12, or an orange with a V30, also a 4x12. So let's take a look at how we can sort of replicate that with the amp sims and software in the plugin. So I've been looking for an emulation of a Marshall JMP1 for a while because I've been wanting to do a Deftones sound-like video. But lucky enough, just the other day, STL Tones released an update to AmpHub, and in there, they added in an emulation of a Marshall JMP1. So here we go. So this is the instance of AmpHub, and this is the emulation of the Marshall JMP1. As you can see, these are settings that I've used. I've used the Overdrive 2nd channel, then I've increased the gain, increased the bass, pulled back the mids a bit, and then boosted the treble and the presence. Also, on the power amp section, I've enabled the deep button and increased the presence. Then I've chosen not to use the speak section in AmpHub, and instead I've added an instance of Miko, which is by ML SoundLab, and in here I'm using the IRs here to be used as a speaker cabinet. This is the speaker I'm using over here. This is the Mega 4x12 new, and on it I'm using a Dynamic 57, and I've just slightly tweaked the mic controls over here. Then also what I've done, it sounds like Steph is using some sort of chorus on the heavy tone. So back in AmpHub, on the post effects section, over here, I've added a slight bit of chorus. So this is what it sounds like now. And then I've just done some post EQing. So just to take out some resonant frequencies over here, I've just cut back at 1K, 2K, and 4K. That just gets rid of some resonant peaks. And then I've also added another EQ just to shape the tone a bit. There's a slight boost in the bass, a slight dip over here at about 500 Hertz, another boost at about 6.8 kilohertz, and then I've shelved off the highs. So that's how to get the sort of heavy tone. But more importantly, like I said, I really like the beginning section where there's that blend between the clean and the distorted. So over here, I've recorded the clean track, and then I've duplicated the guitar part to another track. So on the clean track, I've used an instance of the JMP as well in Amp Hub, but this time I'm using the clean channel, and here are the settings that I've dialed in. So I've dialed back the gain, there's no bass, the mid sits in the center, and then I've boosted the treble and the presence on the power amp section. And this time I have decided to use the stock cabs. So this is using a 2x12 sort of British cabinet with a dynamic 57. And then I've also blended in a 4x12 Cali V30. So a V30 with a 57. And that's what this sounds like. Actually, before jumping in there, as well on the post EQ section, here I've added some delay, some chorus, and some flanger. So what we've got is this. And then blended in with that is the second track here, where it's also using an instance of the JMP1, but instead this is the Overdrive 1 channel. There's a slight bit of extra gain. Everything else is here at the center except for the presence that's boosted up. And let's see, I think we've added something on the post EQ section. Also, sorry, I'm using the stock cabs. That's the same cabs that we used for the clean. And then on the effects, I've used some chorus and some flanger. So what we've got is this for the distorted tone. And then when you blend the two together, and then when the other guitars kick in. And just to hear it all in context, here it is with the drums, bass, and I've got a little synth track over here. So there you go. That's how I recreated the guitar tone of Deftones from that era of around the Fur to the self-titled album. What did you think? Did I come close? Let me know in the comments below of what you thought, and also if you'd like to see me covering some other how to sound like videos, let me know as well in the comments. And you can also check out some of my other how to sound like videos by clicking on this card here, and it'll take you to the playlist. And also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and also don't forget to click on that notification bell. I'll catch you in the next video.